What's up, you guys? Day 2 of having the house all to ourselves, so we get the really cool backdrop. With that being said, let's go ahead, let's get into the video about why I'm staying single for the next 5 years. Like, seriously, probably minimum. I'm so fed up of relationships at this point. The main reason I'm staying single for the next 5 years is because of narcissists. What do you mean by narcissists? As I just made in one of my previous videos, where you can go check it out, I talked about the time that I dated a covert, passive-aggressive narcissist. And seriously, that was just an absolutely terrible experience, and it was messed up. And I am so tired of that. And this is what happens to a lot of people that are in my similar situation. After you've dated a covert passive aggressive narcissist, you're going to notice that you're going through probably the exact same stages that I am. It also kind of depends on where you are in life. But to put it into perspective about where I'm coming at this from is that, first of all, I'm a man and I'm 25 years old, and I spent the past year and a half dating this girl that was a covert passive-aggressive narcissist, and it really it made me feel like I spent a little too much time focusing on that relationship because it had such a negative effect on my mindset and how I felt and everything going forward, that it made me feel like, in a way, that I lost time that I should have had to be able to move forward in my goals. But I lost that time because of the struggles that I was dealing with because I dated a covert narcissist. And those symptoms, including for myself and for many other covert narcissists, is, first of all, a lack of self-trust. So you lose your self-trust while you're dating a covert narcissist, because one of their primary tools is having always plausible deniability. And when they always have plausible deniability in any situation, then it makes you question whether or not you're being like too dramatic or too into it or reading too far into things, and it just messes up with your whole mindset, and it just ends up not being good for your own self-trust. It teaches you to trust them more than they trust yourself, and when you trust them more than they trust yourself, you get manipulated and used by these people for their own happiness at the sake of your own happiness. One of the next common symptoms is, I wouldn't say it was necessarily depression for me, because I don't think I would go that far for me personally, but I definitely did feel a lack of ambition, a lack of drive, and an unhappiness with my life in general. And a lot of that, I thought it had to do with external forces and how things were moving forward in my life. And once I was able to talk to my friend Flyer V, and she told me her experience with a covert narcissist, then it made me realize a lot of my unhappiness and issues that I was dealing with came as a result of the relationship. So thankfully, I'm able to get out of that now and go back to being my happiest person, which I normally always am. So a lot of victims will go through this similar stage that I've gone through, where it's laziness, lack of ambition, where the energy in your life has been sucked out of you. And that's why they call these people energy vampires. They literally steal the life force out of you because of all the covert narcissistic things they do, which is insanely messed up and not healthy for any of us. So it's really good to get those people out of our lives. Next, the next thing that I noticed was, and this is pretty dark to talk about, I don't even like talking about this, but I think it's a very real issue, and I didn't recognize how real of an issue it was until I personally experienced it. And I wouldn't say for me that this issue was something that I took very seriously because I knew I was never going to take action on it, but it did, going through that situation did make me feel like I was at times having thoughts of like not wanting to be here. Not necessarily, I guess you could say they were suicidal thoughts, but I didn't think of them as that way. More like it would just, the way I was just thinking at that time was like, it would just be easier if it was all over, in a way. And that was a pretty dark spot to be in, to have those thoughts. And whenever I had those thoughts, I was able to like observe them from a third person perspective and say, that's not true to me in my core, but I can understand why for so many other people and other victims of covert passive aggressive narcissists, why those thoughts, maybe from whatever psychology they've had, their upbringing, maybe for you guys, it can affect you in a different way, and you might take those thoughts a little more seriously, which is pretty substantial. And there's people that love you and people that care about you, and these problems that I experienced, I'm sure, are some of the same ones that you experienced if you've dated a covert passive-aggressive narcissist. So it's really important to be able to distinguish where that source of unhappiness is coming from. So I hope that if you're like me and you had those thoughts, you go talk to somebody like I talked to my friend, and it helped put things in perspective. I hope that if you're watching this video and you've had those thoughts, then I'm putting it into perspective for you, and I'm helping you get past that right by this video. And the important thing that I took away from that situation really was to talk to somebody, and that's the advice that is most commonly given, because I think it helps you put things into perspective. And talking to somebody else who had also gone through the same experience was absolutely incredible, because it really helped me know that I was not alone. And knowing that I wasn't the only one experiencing that situation from the same type of relationship that other people have had really helped me be able to understand that other people have gone through it, other people have came out stronger, and I was going to be able to do so as well. I believe I saw somewhere that as much as 10% of people in the world can at times be considered narcissists. I also believe that the website for learning about covert narcissists, something along these lines, has over 100,000 hits a month. That's a pretty substantial amount of people that are going through a similar relationship situation, dating a covert narcissist, where advice needs to be given, where people want to learn about it, and more knowledge needs to be spread, especially because covert narcissists are so insidiously flying under the radar, having an effect on people. Years might go by where you do not notice that you maybe are with a covert narcissist, or maybe your parent is one. I don't know, maybe even your child is one. I don't necessarily know what the exact situation would be in your life, but it's really important to recognize what is actually true to your core, and if there is another person, an energy vampire, a narcissist in your life that is affecting you and your happiness, it's really important to get properly educated on that, so that you don't go and do anything that would highly affect your own life in general, and the lives of the people that love you. And just because there's one evil person in your life, that's not a reason, in my opinion, to be able to take away your own, because there is a lack of perspective there. And although I do believe society kind of makes death not okay, I do believe that for most people, we very much enjoy existence and living, and the people that love you, care about you. And if you feel and know that it's in your true core to continue on with your life path, living the greatest, happiest life ever, then if that is your core, then there are solutions to getting past where the dark spot that you and I have been through as people, as of a result of our previous relationships. Those were the main things that I had noticed. My self-esteem had also dropped down as a result of this relationship. And because my self-esteem dropped down so much, I want to take a lot of time to rebuild it. Like, I'm going to be honest too, I'm pretty fast at rebuilding that, because I know that's where my core is. And I know that I'm really confident in myself, and I freaking love myself. I think I'm awesome. I think that you're awesome. I think people in general are just awesome. And so I want to be able to take some time to really heal that. And that brings me to the final reason that why I really want to be single for like the next 5 years. It comes down to the combination of being able to focus on my goals, being able to build up my self-esteem build up my self-esteem again, and move on from those hurtful things that have happened, which is really the main reason for being single, and that is for healing. I want to take the time to heal. I don't want to jump back into another relationship. I don't want to go into another relationship with more traumas, bringing traumas onto other people that don't need to deal with them whatsoever. I am grateful and happy for my experiences because I get to become a stronger person as a result of them. And because I get to become a stronger person as a result of them, then I can move forward in my life as a greater, better, and happier person in life. And by taking that time to heal, I will be able to eventually move on to my next happiest section of my life. And whatever that moment comes that I finally decide I'm ready for another relationship, I can go into that relationship fully, lovingly, and give that girl the most awesome experience that I can. But man, at this point, I'm just tired and fed up of relationships. I hated that I had to go through that. It's so stupid. In a way, it does feel unfair because all I try to do is just be loving and kind to people. And there are people that take advantage of that. And so I'm sure if you've also been in a relationship with a person like this, you kind of know what I mean, where it feels like, seriously, I didn't do anything to deserve this. I don't think I deserved it. And whatever was going on inside of me, to be able to create that and bring that and manifest that into my life, I need to take some time to really heal that and make sure that I'd never go through that again, because I will never allow myself to, because that just wasn't cool. I'm drawing the line there. I'm taking a stand and I'm not letting that happen to me ever again. So I'm gonna take as much time as I need to heal and live my happiest life and be the most awesome version of myself. With that being said, that's why I'm staying single for the next 5 years. If you've dated a covert, passive-aggressive narcissist, then I encourage you to pick up the same book that I read. It was Debbie Mirza's book, The Covert Passive-Aggressive Narcissist. It helped me a ton. It was seriously so informational, and I couldn't be happier that I went through that, because it seriously just made a really big life-changing difference for me in being able to recognize that I was with a covert narcissist, and it helped me learn that I can heal. It helped me learn that I was not alone. And it helped me logically understand everything that was going on and why it had happened. And because I was able to logically understand the whole reason for that whole relationship, it made it a lot more emotionally easy for me to move on past that relationship, past those situations, so that I seriously never have to go through it again, because I'm freaking angry about it and I want to get past that. And I'm glad that I'm angry about it, because this is where I take a stand and this is where I draw the line. So if you've been in a similar situation, I hope that you take a stand in your life. The growth challenge in this video would be for you to take a stand in your life and to draw the line and say, no, this is not going to happen to me, and to live your happiest life being your most awesome version of yourself. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button down below. For the next 100 subscribers, as soon as we hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away $100 to one of you that are within those first 100 subscribers. Also, click the link in the description down below to get your free Legend wristband. Feel free to shop some Legend merch. I'll see you guys on the next one.